Hi, I'm Annie Lichny, and I'm so grateful to be here to practice some mindfulness and meditation together. We're going to start just taking our comfortable posture, and we're going to feel our spine is upright and dignified, feeling the weight of our seat as we sit here with our feet flat on the floor, comfortable. And we're going to take 3 breaths together. And the breaths are going to be as if we're preparing for something. Like sometimes we take breaths if we're preparing for a race or we're about to do swim laps in a pool. We take deep breaths. It's kind of an automatic instinct we have. So we're going to take these 3 breaths as we're preparing for mindfulness and meditation together. So the breaths are going to be a deep exertion on the inhale, filling the whole body up on the inhale, and then a full release on the exhale through the mouth. So it'll be like this. Like we're preparing for something. So let's take these 3 breaths together. Inhale, deep inhale, filling everything up. Release and let go on the exhale. A deep, exerted inhale. And then a full exhale. One more inhale. And deep release, exhale. Okay. So there's a word that started to come up in our culture recently, fairly recently, and it really talks about how we are, how we feel about things. When something goes wrong, when something happens, whether it's a conversation or something breaks or something disappointing happens, a whole variety of different things that can happen. And we talk about being triggered. I was triggered by something. And really, the idea of being triggered by something is a way of saying, oh, I was unhappy with a certain situation. But this triggering is happening in the whole body. So we might be triggered by something and start to overthink. That's one way we get triggered. Overthink or ruminate on something. Or we get worried about something. And all of that also translates into the body. So the whole body gets triggered. And it's the nervous system that's constantly communicating up and down, back and forth, connecting the brain and the body. And the nervous system is triggered. So these practices are designed to calm down the nervous system, to soothe ourselves, to bring us back into regulation, and make it harder to get triggered easily. That is one of the wonderful benefits of mindfulness and meditation. It's just harder to have us get upset by things. We can respond with a little bit more peace and not react so quickly emotionally when things happen. When we strengthen our nervous system, we're more resilient when things happen that maybe we're not happy with that they happen. But we don't emotionally get that same charge and feel that same sense of anxiety. So we're going to do 2 practices essentially today, and we're just going to go right on through. And they're working with these triggers, these ideas of what happens in the mind also absolutely is happening in the body. And we can start by taking our comfortable posture. And the first thing we're going to do is a sense of our own hands using a soothing touch for ourselves. And we're going to be squeezing. And this sense of squeezing is kind of pressure to help release tightness and tension. That's really the idea here. So we'll take our hands and we'll place them on either arm, opposite armed, kind of like a mini hug, so to speak. And we'll take our fingers, this part of our fingers, as well as possibly the palms or the hands, and we'll use them to apply pressure to ourselves. So we'll squeeze and release, and squeeze and release. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing here for a little bit. Squeeze, release. We can start to just feel the pressure and come a little bit more closely to the body as we apply this squeezing pressure. And you be the judge of what's the best pressure for you. Everybody's going to be a little different. Release, squeeze, release. And we can move down the arms now a little bit. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. We can also add an element of the breath here. So we can squeeze while we exhale, release on the inhale. Squeeze and exhale. Release, inhale. Squeeze, exhale. Release, inhale. And move back up the arms. Just start to feel the arms, the sensation of the squeezing and the releasing. And squeezing, and we're exhaling to release any tension at the same time. The pressure is just helping to release it. And inhale when there's no pressure. We can take one arm and place it just on our belly and use the other arm and just come up to the shoulder and squeeze. See how much you can kind of wrap around the whole shoulder. Squeezing and exhaling and release. And if our hands could talk to us right now, if they could be communicating to us now with this sense of squeeze and pressure, what would they say? Squeeze as we move up. And seeing if you can use the pads of your fingers to apply pressure to the back part of the shoulder. Squeeze as we exhale. Release. Maybe our hands could say, it's okay, we're safe, everything is okay right now. I'm here for you. Our hands could offer comfort. Nothing critical, no judging, just comfort and soothing. Squeeze, release. We could take our hands and just place them along the back of the neck, not right along the spine, but just off to the side. And we could just apply pressure with our fingers between where the skull is and where our shoulders start here. Just apply pressure and release. This is such an excellent way to calm the nervous system down. Squeeze, release. Just a little bit of pressure, enough for you. Your body will tell you what you need. Release. We might even feel these tender spots when we're doing this, especially along the shoulder and the back of the neck. The tender spots are telling us it's really, really tight back here. This pressure will help feel really good and release some of the pressure and the tenderness. Release. So now we can come over to the other arm. Up to the shoulder. And place the other hand on the belly. Squeeze the shoulder. Release. Again, if the hands could talk, what could they say? Squeeze. Release. Up to the neck. Squeeze. Release. Our hands are communicating to our nervous system that everything is okay. we are coming from a place of perhaps stress or anxiety or ruminating into a more regulated, calm, peaceful state by offering ourselves just this pressure, this squeezing. Squeeze, release. We could start to notice when we do these squeezing types of pressure techniques where we hold on to pressure, where we hold on to tension for ourselves. And this can be really valuable, so we can use these techniques anytime for ourselves. Squeezing, release. And now we can just take our hands. Usually we can squeeze and release our hands. Usually our hands are filled with tension, tightness. And usually we're doing like this because we're frustrated. But how about we switch that just even for right now and allow our hands to communicate to each other and deeply within and offer comfort instead of any thoughts of frustration. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Switch hands, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, and down into the palms, squeeze, release. And very gently and slowly we can place our hands on our lap. And if we've had our eyes open, we can close down our sense of sight as we just continue here. And we could feel into the body. Notice all throughout the body. Notice through the neck and the shoulders and the arms how we're feeling deeply within. Not what we're thinking about, but what is the felt sense within the body, and is there any sense of relaxation or reduced tension, perhaps through the neck and the shoulders and the arms? I can feel a cool sense along my neck, and there's a tingling quality in my shoulders. And my hands feel very alive, very tingly. So notice for yourself if there's places of tenderness and tightness where perhaps pressure might work for you at home. And then we could also spend a little bit of time using more of a complete body scan. Let's really scan through other parts of the body and start with our feet and start with our toes. We can keep zooming in. We're strengthening our ability to focus, strengthening the neural networks that run throughout the body, making us more resilient, more at peace and calm and confident, and just this overall sense of okayness. By using our own focus and allowing our focus to come within ourselves and really feel what's going on in the body. We spend so much of our day, so much of our time externally focused. And now is a chance where really nothing else matters. We can let everything else in the universe go and just spend a few minutes here looking inward, focusing inward. That's the only thing that matters right now. So we can bring our full attention to our big toes. Just focus on the sensations through the toe, the bottom of the toe, the nail bed of the big toes, the left toe, the right toe. Noticing the tip of the toe. We might have stubbed our toe a lot as a kid. or even as an adult. You might notice some tenderness or vulnerability there. Feeling sensations. There's this electrical, vibrational quality that runs through our whole body. Perhaps we can feel it just right here if we bring all of our focus just right here to this small part of the body. Breathing in helps maybe direct all of our attention. When we get lost in thought, we can breathe into the toes, feeling what's here, releasing and letting go of any tightness, inviting a softening to ourself through the toes. And then we can scan through the second, third, fourth, and baby toe, noticing if there's any tightness or tension, any sensations at all. Sometimes it's not possible to feel. Sometimes we wall off the sensations, or there's been injury, so we might not always feel sensation, and that's okay. But we can notice where we feel it and notice where we feel nothing. Just take note. Breathing in, feeling through all the toes, and then releasing and letting go of any tightness. And then through the soles of the feet, and the tops of the feet, the arches. Breathing in, feeling all the way through the entire foot, as if we had nostrils down on our feet. So the breath is originating from the feet, inside, taking us deeply inside the felt sense of the feet. And then softening on the exhale. Coming up through the ankles and the lower legs and the knees, up through the thighs. We can start to explore the bones, the muscles, the blood flow, the tissue, the nerves. Noticing this sense of aliveness, this vibrational, shimmery quality that we can feel within the body. And perhaps also noticing any tight spots, any tension, maybe even any discomfort from injuries. All of this exists together, although our thinking mind usually only takes us to the discomfort. But we can become more focused, more able to see this aliveness that's within us. Feeling it deeply within us. It's very stable, it's very strong, it's very grounding. It's this sense of okayness. We could breathe into our whole legs up to our pelvis, feeling the soft belly through the pelvis, through the sit bones, into the lower back. Breathing in again as if the breath originates from this lower part of our body. Breathing in to help keep us tethered here, anchored in the body. We can let all thoughts go. Come in and just really feel the sensations within the pelvis, within the groin area, the sit bones, the lower back, the belly, noticing if there's any tightness or tenderness. And on the exhale, invite a softening, just like we could imagine our hands talking to us when we're soothing with pressure through our shoulders or our neck. What can our conscious, aware focus tell our body? It's okay. Everything is okay. It's okay to release and just soften. Come up through the whole torso area, all of the organs that are deeply within us. We could kind of feel their vibrational quality, feeling this aliveness within us through the rib cage. We may notice there's certain places that are fairly common that we hold on to tension and tightness. We may notice that we feel this tension or kind of a sense of holding on through our rib cage, through our chest area, along the shoulder blades, along the back. Perhaps we can discover for ourselves where we really feel this tightness. And then also notice this quality of shimmering aliveness that's also within us. Really feel everything on the inhale. Noticing and then releasing, inviting a softening. A sense of relaxation within the body, within the nervous system, within the organs. We could come up through our shoulders, our neck, the back of our neck, where we were applying a pressure earlier, and through our arms and our hands, just breathing in. Maybe our shoulders and our arms and our hands actually feel okay because we've offered them some soothing earlier. Continue to offer and invite a softening. What can your conscious focus offer to your body in words, with focus, to calm down and release any sense of anything that's restricting and feeling not okay? Can we release it with gentleness? Coming up through the skull, the brain, through the face, the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw, the cheeks. Recognizing how much tension we hold on through our forehead area, our temples, or through our eyes. And invite a softening on the exhale. We can talk to ourselves with comfort instead of anything critical. Anything that's criticizing. We can just let that go. We don't need to criticize ourselves. We can offer just comfort and soothing. And this will bring us into a place of peace and well-being. Breathe in and just feel the whole body, as if your whole body, every single cell within the body, is receiving the breath coming in. And then release and soften and let go. With our conscious focus, can we just get a sense of how this field of the whole body feels right now? We can zoom in and target on just a tiny little place like our toes, but then we can also get a sense of how the whole body feels. Can we get a sense of this field of the body? If there's a spaciousness and openness that exists here within the body. This spaciousness, this openness is actually our nervous system showing us it's able to calm down through these practices. This softness, this openness, it's actually pointing to being okay. We're okay, we're safe, we feel comfort. So notice where you feel any discomfort over the course of this week, and offer some kind pressure and squeezing to yourself in these places, and offer kind words as you do it. And see if it doesn't help release some of the triggers that we all face every day. Thank you so much for your time and your dedication to practice to help yourself.